Hey guys, I want to try something quite different today. I've been hard at work on the Pokemon North and South video and have been since this summer. As I've been working on that project, one that requires a ton of custom imagery and art, I found myself contending with something very topical: generative AI. Midjourney, Dream.ai, and many more services show promise in generating images that can approximate the art that I'd like to have for the project. I did use Dream AI for the original Pokemon video last year, though I carefully avoided any description of the images as art. This was very intentional. You see, lots of tech and regular news sites don't really know what to do with this new technology that promises to generate art without artists. These programs use enormous databases of art in order to learn what art looks like and generate more images that, in theory, fit the mold. If it looks like art and feels like art, isn't it art? The same is true of text generators like ChatGPT. In fact, I could put the bullet points of the plot for North and South into a text generator and probably get an adequate script out of it. I did, actually. Here it is. You can pause and read it if you like. It's not terrible. It's bland, it doesn't really know how to deal with Pokemon conceptually, but it makes sense and would be a decent base. I absolutely could have just taken that base and fleshed it out. Indeed, I could do the same with the imagery of the video. Midjourney is able to create perfectly adequate renders of people. Here's a scene from my North and South script that I dropped into Midjourney. This looks pretty good, doesn't it? I don't hate how this looks. It's fairly clear and it's certainly nice to look at, though it struggles with drawing Pokemon. There's even voice generator technology that can be used to transfer my scripts into audio. Editing the voiceover audio of these videos is by far my least favorite part of the video editing process, so I'd be very tempted to use one of these that works well. There's almost 6 hours and 30,000 words of audio delivered by Volcarinite. I could feed the program just the raw audio, give it the magic scripts, and watch it work. I could do all of this if I wanted. I'd use a lightly edited AI script that reads my voice, approximated by AI. I could edit together a slideshow of AI images and put out a perfectly serviceable video. It'd be faster, easier, and there might be some people who just wouldn't know the difference. So, why not? Well, there's a lot of reasons, but for this video, I want to focus on just one: art. And to do that, I need to contribute to an old and tired discussion with my take on it. What is art? In the corner of the internet that I reside in, most art discussion comes in the form of whether or not video games count. To be honest with you, I'm not interested in that part of the discussion because the answer to me is obviously yes. The only definition of art that excludes video games would be something like any work that is one of the following mediums, and just definitionally exclude them. And sure, you can have that definition, but it calls into question whether your category of art is actually a useful, functional category that describes anything at all. No, we need a better definition of art. The definition I have settled on for myself is this: any work that was created with the primary intention of allowing consumers to engage in a storytelling experience. This definition is imperfect, but it works really well for me. It includes 3 key points. The first point is the created with the primary intention bit. Something that purports to be art must have been made with some intentionality, must have been created with purpose. This means that its creator had to be something that could choose to create it for a reason, which basically means that its creator must be sentient. The creator must be a person. AI creates things that can seem art-ish, but it doesn't create them with any intentionality. It's taking a prompt and attempting to output some visual that it believes could fit the set of data it's been trained on. This is, as best as I can tell, close enough to creation, but there's no intentionality here. The AI didn't create the image or text or audio with any purpose. It created a thing that seems like it could fit into a set of existing examples. The next part of the definition I want to talk about is the end, the storytelling experience part. Art is something that is created to be a story or to encourage stories around it, and these stories can be anything. Novels, histories, even essays like these are created to tell stories. They create a narrative, encourage you to think critically about your own experiences, and see how they relate to your own understanding of the world. They may not seem like stories in the traditional sense, but they absolutely are. Visual art like paintings, sculptures, and photographs are more like story prompts. They give you a scene that you can look into and develop a story around. My favorite visual art piece is this, Isle of the Dead. This art piece isn't itself a story, but it is, you know? You can see the story here. This island, floating here in the midst of an endless foggy ocean, somehow both isolated and human in nature, is the place where something happened, or is happening, or will happen, or maybe all 3 at once. This is art. Music is similar. You get one piece of the story, like in visual art. It's just a different piece of the story, and you have to develop a different bit in your imagination. The song you're listening to right now Battle Against a True Hero from Undertale, is incredible in this sense. This song is one of frantic desperation and betrayal. The sound of this song, in my mind, is the perspective of Undyne from the Genocide run. For the entire run, you, as Undyne, have been cast as the villain to the player's hero, fighting fruitlessly to defend yourself against the forces of good. But that was never really true, and the facade comes crashing down now. You, Undyne, are not just good, but the defender of the innocent. You're the hero, and you're outmatched. The song is desperate and pleading, begging you to just stop the player. Do something, anything, please, just make it stop. Get the player to leave us alone. But you can't. You're just not strong enough. You lose. Video games easily fit this mold. Cynics might describe some AAA games as just vehicles for profit machines, but that's not an animating force on its own. Video games often have stories, but the stories of video games are much more experiential. It's what the players go through as they play, how they overcome challenges and obstacles, how the elements of stories ring true for them, how they learn and master gameplay and the worlds that these games take place in. The last piece of my art definition is the one I'm most unsure of. It's the allowing consumers part. It restricts art solely to the domain of released works. Something cannot be art if it isn't ever released for consumption. It doesn't matter how popular it is, or how good, or how well received, or anything else like that. It must be something that was created to be consumed. I think this is defensible because if something was created with the intention of being a device for experiencing stories, it would have to be something that is shared with others to prompt that. I don't know that some work could be considered conditional art in some situations, not in others. So, something can't just be art to its creators and not to the rest of the world, because sharing it is what makes it art. So, there you go. This is the Volcaronite, maybe not original, but hey, I came to it independently definition of art. It's also why, for my videos, I'll be referring to AI images as precisely that, instead of as AI art. They aren't art. I will be using them because they do a great job of adding visuals to something that otherwise wouldn't have any, but don't ever mistake those images for art. I also will use art, my own official Pokemon art, the art of other creators that I credit. I'll always be sure to have a source on screen so that you can know where something comes from. Okay, I think that's it. Thanks for watching this little ramble. I hope you got something out of this. I know that I posted that the next video out would be North and South, but that project, if you can believe it, has ballooned in scope. It'll certainly be my biggest project to date, coming out at least twice the length of Cracking Celeste, and perhaps even rivaling what Tears of the Kingdom will eventually be. But I don't care how big the project is, I just want to be happy with it. I promise to make it with the same care and attention to detail that I try to make everything on this channel with, and I'll have it to you when it's ready. If you liked this video, be sure to let me know by liking and commenting. But that's all I've got for you today, so enjoy your day and take care.